Hey guys, welcome back to the show. And on this episode, I'm going to be talking about a movie that, quite honestly, you've seen it a million times before. It's just like every other space sci-fi horror movie ever made. It's Breach, a movie starring Bruce Willis that takes place aboard a spaceship. And I bet you can probably guess what happens on that spaceship, especially with this tagline, "Deep in space, they are not alone." Think about it. Someone had to come up with that tagline, and then probably another person had to say, that's it right there. Anyways, the movie starts in the year 2242, and guess what? Mankind is about to go extinct. This spaceship is called the Ark, and they've selected a bunch of people to go to a new planet called New Earth. Anyways, Noah, yes, his name is Noah. The spaceship is the Ark, and his name is Noah. He wasn't selected, but his pregnant girlfriend, Haley, was. I don't know what the criteria was for selecting people, but whatever. They're gonna find a way to get Noah on the Ark.
We stick to the plan.
That's right, Noah. Just stick to the plan, which is just walk onto the ship. Seriously, that seems to be their big plan. You can tell they put a lot of thought into that. So, of course, security grabs him, and then people start rushing the ship, but it's too late. It's taking off. Well, that sucks.
All passengers report to cryo immediately.
How do I get off the ship?
Is that a serious question? I mean, your boyfriend didn't make it on board, so you're just going to, what exactly? Open the door to the spaceship and die in space? Or take an escape pod back to Earth and just die there? I mean, come on, you had to have been prepared for the possibility that he wasn't going to make it onto the ship if he wasn't selected in the first place, and your big plan for getting him onto the ship was just basically just walk onto it. Anyways, they're like, you're not going anywhere. So everyone gathers in this big room to get a speech from Shades here. This is the Admiral of the ship, and Haley is actually his daughter, which is weird. You'd think the daughter of the Admiral would be one of the first people aboard the ship, but who knows? Maybe she just left it to the last minute. And look, holy crap, it's Noah. How did he get on board? Well, I don't know, but back when the ship was already in space, they said this.
Sir, we have stowaways trying to breach the vents.
Okay, so what? At the last minute, a bunch of people somehow climbed into the vents of the ship as it was taking off? It sounds like a very secure vessel. Anyways, the Admiral is like, grr, you knocked up my daughter. Brr. So, okay, everyone into your freeze pods because this trip is gonna take 6 months. And Haley's like, hey, since you weren't selected, you won't have a freeze pod. What are you gonna do for 6 months? And Noah is like, oh, I'll just pretend to be a janitor. You know, part of the crew while all the citizens are frozen. I have no idea how he managed to swing that. You'd think they'd have a record of, you know, everyone who's supposed to be on the crew. But whatever, she gets frozen, which this fog represents, I guess. And the ship takes off into hyperspeed thanks to this fluorescent light bulb reactor. And then the commander is like, all right, everybody, get to work. So Noah is working as a janitor and bunking in the same room as Bruce Willis's character, Clay. Clay is able to send out a hologram to wherever Noah is somehow. I don't know how he knows where he is at any particular moment, but whatever. Noah spends his days cleaning while Clay just drinks non-stop until one day, Noah sees Clay and another crew member carrying some canisters, and he's like, oh crap, that's really suspicious. So while Noah is cleaning the restroom, the commander tells him to let him know if he sees anyone doing anything suspicious. And let's just hold on a second here, because I gotta bring this up. Just look at this. What is going on in this washroom? Are people just pissing all over the walls? Why is this so filthy? I hate to say it, but this right here is maybe the reason why humans shouldn't get another chance at a new planet. I mean, if in another 200 years we still can't figure out just basic human decency, then what's the point of even going to a new planet? So we can just piss all over that one too? Seriously, this is actually something that drives me nuts. I just don't understand why people have to be so disgusting. Why? Why is it that every single time I go into a public washroom, doesn't matter where it is, There's always a toilet left without being flushed. Like, what is wrong with you people? Who are these people? Do they get some kind of enjoyment out of leaving a dump in the toilet? And why are there so many of these people? There's so many of these people. I bet someone watching this video right now is one of these people. And let's just call them what they are. Defecation degenerates, okay? I mean, how much of a piece of garbage are you that using a public restroom is seen as like this opportunity to act like an animal? That should be part of the selection process for who gets to go to the new planet. I mean, really, you know, we got one shot at this. We might as well set our standards pretty high. And I think it should go without saying, we should just eliminate all the pee and poo vandals from going to the new planet, because do you want them there? I don't. Now, anyone that knows me knows I'm not a big fan of the whole mob mentality, public shaming thing, but in this case, I think I would be. We gotta start calling out people who don't flush. I mean, there's a lot of social change going on right now, a lot of, movements, and I think this is one that everyone can get behind. I mean, I believe people can change, everyone should be given a second chance, the personal growth, that sort of thing. But with this, I think you get a certain amount of chances, and then after that, if you still get caught not flushing, then we just put it on your tombstone. Did not flush. Gross. Anyways, Clay tells Noah to get this special cleaner, and Noah accidentally spills some of it and it melts right through this metal table. Because yeah, that's what you want aboard a spaceship, jugs of acid floating around with flimsy caps. So Noah goes to look for Clay and then finds him pouring some cleaner into a vat.
What are you doing?
Wait, so how exactly does this hologram thing work? Does he just have like a second holographic version of himself floating around? I don't know. So Noah's like, oh my God, Clay is building a bomb. I have no real reason to think that, and all I saw was him pouring some cleaner into a vat, which really doesn't seem that weird considering his job, but screw it, I'm gonna tell people. So they drag him back into the room and handcuff him to this gun rack, which isn't even attached to the wall, another great idea. And this kind of builds up to be like he caught them all doing something shady and now they're gonna have to kill him. So they make him drink the stuff that Clay was mixing, and oh, it turns out he's making moonshine. Ha ha ha, now everyone can have a big laugh. He wasn't trying to blow up this ship. He was just trying to make booze with cleaner that eats through metal. That's so hilariously casual. Seriously, you're on a spaceship and you need a drink so bad that you're willing to make your own out of acid and God knows what else. Maybe that's a sign that you need some help. So they have a party where they all drink this stuff, but meanwhile there's trouble afoot. Some sort of parasite is on the ship and caused this guy to explode and then infected this other guy, turning him into a violent zombie that starts killing people. Now, I know what you're thinking. An alien life form that finds its way aboard a spaceship and starts killing off the crew members one by one? What a totally original idea. Well, need I remind you that this has actually been done before? Pretty famously, I might add. It was the plot of a little movie called Space Chimps. At least I think it was. I don't know, I don't really remember the movie. It's pretty high. Anyways, they find one of the crew members that was killed near the reactor room. But there's really nothing to worry about. I mean, the reactor probably has a lot of security. It's not like you can just walk right into it. Plus, there's this little sign up here. So they find Blue, that's the guy's name, and he's trying to cut his way into this room. So they tell him to turn around and put down his weapon.
I'm ordering you to lay down your weapon. Put your weapon down and surrender.
But here's the funny thing. In this shot, he's not holding anything. So they all stand there as he jumps onto the one guy and kills him. And then they blast him. Meanwhile, they're trying to find out how the other crew member got killed, and this is what I find hilarious. The year is 2242. They're on a spaceship with cryogenic freezing, gravity, and super advanced holograms, but they're still having problems with grainy, glitchy, black and white security footage. So anyways, they find out there's nothing inside of Blue's body except black goo, and that he was being controlled by some sort of parasite. But how did the parasite get on board?
I had the ship do a head count after you found Ortega just to make sure that nobody else had gone missing. And I found this. Noah's not in the system. He's using forged papers.
Wow, so she had the ship do a head count and it determined that there was a stowaway on board and that Noah is using forged papers? So wait, he got on board using forged papers? This was the level of security you needed to bypass to get onto the ship? Papers? Are you fucking kidding me? Again, this takes place over 200 years in the future. They have all this technology, and you mean to tell me they got two guys, at the door to the ship just going, tickets please, have your tickets ready, tickets? So while they're arguing over whether or not Noah was the one who brought the parasite on board, they notice that all the dead bodies are gone. And so it begins, the great zombie fest, where they infect everyone while the survivors debate how to kill these things because bullets don't work. Never mind the fact that you're all standing in the room with the acid cleaner that can liquefy anything it touches. Oh wait, the audience might notice that. Okay, let's get rid of the one jug that has some cleaner left in it. That way, in all these other shots, there will just be the one empty jug. So that way, it makes sense. There's no cleaner in here, so the characters never thought about it. Anyways, Clay has the idea of using a flamethrower, and damn, too bad the ship has a fire alarm that immediately covers the whole place in a thick, fire-extinguishing fog. Perfect for creating a situation where the characters can't see anything, and one of them gets hurt. So they lock themselves in this room, and they're like, well, they're outside the door, and there's no way to kill them, so I guess we're all dead. But wait, there's an air vent. Thank God there's always an air vent for a grown adult to crawl through. Pretty comfortably, I might add. That's a lot of space. Oh, and there's also Clay's super cool hologram that's giving him directions, which I still don't understand how this works. How is this hologram giving him real-time directions while Clay is arguing with Teak? Whatever, Teak admitted that he was the one who brought the parasite on board because he's part of some kind of rebellion that wants the human race to go extinct. Anyways, Noah gets to the Admiral's freezing chamber, but oh no, it's locked. But that's okay, because a good old-fashioned crowbar is enough to open this super advanced piece of medical technology. And the Admiral just opens his eyes as if he hasn't been frozen for the past 6 months. There's literally no effect. He's not even slightly confused or groggy or disoriented. That stuff all happens to me when I take even a 10-minute nap. Non-frozen. You could have at least had the character take a minute to kind of, get their bearings. We're supposed to believe that these characters have been in cryo sleep for half a year.
You again.
So they're trying to find out from Teak just what this parasite is, and this is kind of funny because they keep presenting all these scenarios like, did you create it in a lab? Did you get it from space? And Teak just keeps giving these vague answers.
Another planet? Another universe?
Maybe it was here from before the universe.
So the parasite is targeting the reactor to blow up the ship because, it just wants to destroy all life. Teak knows this because they did experiments on it. So the Admiral unfreezes his super SWAT team. Again, everyone is just instantly ready for action. But again, having a lot of guns isn't enough. They even have lasers now. But still, the zombies can't be stopped. So the Admiral decides to blow himself up, which leads to all the body parts of the crew members joining together and creating some kind of flesh monster. Then Noah finally gets the idea. Holy crap, the cleaning acid. That's it. So they come up with the idea of hooking up the cleaner to the flamethrower and creating a super blue acid flame that melts flesh completely but does nothing to close. I don't understand how this works. If this stuff in its concentrated liquid form eats through metal, wouldn't it just destroy the flamethrower from the inside? I don't know, whatever. Noah grabs Haley and he's like, hey, I know you're pregnant and you've been asleep for 6 months, but you gotta take this gun because there's a giant flesh monster trying to kill everyone. We gotta get out of here. So they get to an escape pod, but Noah's still gotta fight this thing because the blue flame isn't really working that well. So, you just gotta keep at it, I guess. Then suddenly, the flesh falls off and oh god, what is this gonna turn into Annihilation now? Please no. Anyways, they get away in an escape pod while the ship explodes and they make it all the way to New Earth, which is crazy. It almost looks exactly like old Earth, just with a crappy blue filter put over all the footage. But wait, there's a huge monster on New Earth and Haley is now going into labor. But no time for childbirth. She's got to raise up her gun with Noah and fight this thing. Now, I don't have the exact numbers, but apparently this movie made less than $40,000. Now, you could chalk some of that up due to the fact that this movie was released during the pandemic, but I don't really know what their plans for this movie were. It was filmed in the fall of 2019, so even if the pandemic didn't happen, would they have put more money into marketing this thing? I don't know, but I really don't think this would have made any money. But quite honestly, I don't really care because, like I said, you know, there's nothing really new here to make this stand out. And on that note, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.